Hello, everybody, and we have arrived at number 20, and it's none other than Viktor Korchnoi. Korchnoi, born in 1931 and passed away in 2016 at the age of 85. And yeah, when it comes to chess, what's his main characteristic? The longevity, the fighting, the matches? How do you feel about Korchnoi?
Yeah, longevity, but it's also a bit odd because actually the first part of his sort of, the 20s and 30s, he was not that strong. He actually becomes the serious world championship contender in his 40s, right? I mean, he's number one in the world for like 4 months at some point. But generally, it's in his 40s in the battles with Karpov that he shines. Actually, already in 74, he's playing the candidates finals against Karpov for the right to challenge Fischer. And we know now that was efficiently a world championship match. And he loses a 24 games match, which was the candidates final at that time, believe it or not, by 12 and a half, one and a half. I mean, he was trailing and he got close. But of course, the real battle, the one everyone knows about, the ones they make musicals about and such, was this huge clash in Baguio City in 1978. And imagine it, Korchnoi was actually 45 years old at the time, right? And, they play 32 games. This was played, I think they made the system probably to please Fischer, right? That you had to play to 6 wins. I mean, there was huge debates in the FIDE Congress about the format and such, and I think they have agreed on playing to 6 wins. And Korchnoi fell behind, but he made this incredible comeback from being behind 5-2 to getting to 5-5, and then he loses the next games by some, we would say stupid gamble. Had he won, he would have been an excellent gamble, but he didn't. So I mean, at the age of 45, he gets to a sudden death situation. I will almost say golden goal. The next one who wins a game is the world champion against an exhausted Karpov, but loses it. But that was basically his peak. He's still so good that at age 48, he actually gets to challenge Karpov once more. But at that point, Karpov was too strong for him, and he loses quite clearly. But
but still insane to have the willpower, because he's, I guess, not clearly stronger than the other contestants there. And then at age 45 to lose a match and come back.
It puzzles me that he's capable of doing these things. But also, we didn't speak about his early years, right? But, speaking of a bad childhood, right, he was... he lived in Leningrad, which was named at the time now St. Petersburg, during the war, when it was actually sealed off and famine and all these kind of things, right? So, I mean, a horrible situation to be, but lucky to survive. And of course, that forms him as a character and as a person. And probably that's where he got his fighting skills from to some extent, right? I think Korchnoi, in some interview, once said that when I'm gone, please don't portray me as a saint. So I will do him a favor and say that he really wasn't. I mean, there's not that many who likes Korchnoi, but they maybe respect him as a sports person and such. And he was not really trying to be liked in any way. But
he wasn't trying to make friends, no? Or I'm sure.
No, not exactly. I mean, no. Actually, one should go and look at sort of Korchnoi quotes collections. I mean, he is, you would try and insult people at times to be funny. He would do it for real, right? I mean, it's, I think, isn't that this famous quote during a game where he asks someone, do you speak English? And the guy says, yes. Why don't you resign? And, there is many stories. And, that's Korchnoi. If anything, I actually played him and he made a draw against me. And I was very nervous about analyzing, but he was extremely polite to me.
Yeah, the same experience.
Yeah, and I was about to say, that's probably because he doesn't respect us as a chess player. I mean, it's simply, if he doesn't insult you, you're not in a reasonable league and such. No, I have met him and he's always been very kind to me, but that's not the impression you get from some of his competitors.
Yeah, I heard the same thing, that his way to show respect is insults, which...
Yeah.
No, he was nice to me too.
I mean, he's a fantastic character, and it's very strange because if you took his careers when he was 20 and 30, he would be a strong player. I don't know if he would make our top 50 list, but he would be close probably. But then in his 40s, he just propels into top 20, and one good game instead of a bad game against Karpov in Baku, then he would be in top 10 probably and be the world champion. So, I mean, well, it's strange, right? He's close in age to guys like Petrosyan and such, who actually becomes the world champion. But then later he just completely overpowers them and such. So well, he chooses to peak at a weird time in the sense that Karpov existed, right? But
yeah, I'm not sure this is, once again, speculation, me not being well read. I have a feeling that for a lot of even the greatest champions, their passion to keep working on chess also becomes a little less, whatever, in their late 30s after 30 years in chess. And for Korchnoi, it never felt like that was the case, no? Like he
also
stuck
actually
with chess.
leaving out a huge fact here. Korchnoi defected at some point from the Soviet Union, right? So when he plays against Karpov in Baku, he's I forgot if he's a Swiss citizen at the point, right? But there is huge fights going on. I mean, Korchnoi is trying to get his son out of the Soviet Union and things like that. It's I mean, that was really top politics at the time. I think Korchnoi had given an interview where he says that he was lucky he lost the last game in Baku because there were plans to eliminate him and such. I have no idea if they are back. He claims so, and well, that's a matter for more serious historians with going into the files and things like that. But it was just an incredible tension, and maybe also that was kept him going, right? He actually maybe thought he needed to defect in order to help his career, and then somehow that gave him this kind of spark of energy. But well, you were saying you think Korchnoi somehow improved as a player because of work, or?
I'm not sure if improved, but he certainly never lost his motivation. No, of course. No. Age is undefeated, but so I think it's also rare that people.
No, but it's also, you can see he kept playing chess till, well, basically he was not physically capable of doing it later, right? And I forgot when he fell out of the top 100, but it was a pretty high age, right? And such. So I played him
70s for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I played him like, I don't know, 16 years ago. I mean, he was not exactly young at the time, right? So, and I think, well, there was the famous. He actually has beaten Magnus Carlsen, but he beat him on time when Magnus was very young. And I think he did this famous trick of not writing down a move. So Carlsen looked at his score sheet and thought he'd made move 40, but he didn't. I mean, no, you got to respect the fighting qualities, like it or not, right? So.
Yeah, he also beat Caruana when Caruana was a top player.
That's true. He actually beat him in a very nice game, right? So, I mean, yeah. Well, we can try and compare ourselves in the 70s how we behave. I mean, this is that's a serious character.
Yeah. So. Also wrote some books. I read his books on his best games and the Rook Ending book. So.
The Rook Ending book, I remember. I mean, he explains how to draw 4 versus 3 on the king side, right? And I think he says that common to sort of 4 versus 3 on the king side, they say it's if they get the pawn to h5, it's a very difficult draw. Korchnoi says not at all. You just put the pawns on f6, g7, h6, and then kings goes between f7 and h7, and I had no clue, but then I read his book, and it's true. When the way he explains it, you start to understand, okay, it's actually very simple. I think you had the same experience, right?
Yeah, except I forgot the method already. But
yeah. But that's, I think, wasn't that what Korchnoi said also to somebody that, I have forgotten more about Rook endings than you would ever know. I mean, he will always work on some kind of funny and stuff. So, no, but that's... Anyway, maybe we should look at his chess game, yeah?
Let's do it. This is a game. Another thing I forgot. This is the game where he equalized the match against.
Yeah, this is where he equalizes to 5-5 in Baku. So he's been trailing 5-2 basically for a month. Whenever he showed up to a game, he knew if I lose it, it's over, right? And now he's behind 5-4 and facing the young Karpov.
Good old Carlsbad structure.
Yeah, he was playing the English at the time and quite successfully with Karpov. If anything, he was a bit unlucky in this match. I mean, for instance, famously, he got mated because he was in time pressure and missed the maiden free and things like that. But anyway, so...
Yeah, all of this is standard stuff. Bishop f6 looks a little simplistic, but it works nicely in this game. Main moves are usually h3, rook b1, rook e1, other rook e1, you name it.
No, I just took it because, well, he's actually beating Karpov in a technical style, right?
This actually will get to Karpov, but at some point I thought, in order to understand this Carlsbad structure better, I should study Karpov games. I don't think he was good in card spot structure.
He had some problems against Belyavsky, no, or something like this.
Also against short, like he just he's incredibly good. So later he does well, but he's often in trouble around move 20. Anyway,
no, this is nothing special, but sort of probably rook c8 is not very accurate.
c8 doesn't look right, allowing the exchange. After this, well, it's this typical thing where
no, but it's no more sort of. I mean, I think I saw a quote. Was it? I forgot who it was 70 years ago, but it was basically like maybe Petrosyan's style to beat Botvinnik was similar to Magnus's style beating Anand in the first match. You had to win technical endings, and that because you are the younger with more energy. I mean, Korchnoi is clearly older. He must be incredibly tired, but he still thinks, Karpov is shaking. Let me get him into a long game and wear him down in the ending. So, anyway.
Yeah. Queen d7. Okay. I'm not sure if black should exchange queens, but they get this, which can't be too much, but he outplays him. Yeah, a5 is somewhat remarkable. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. This is given as a quite remarkable move because, well, that's not how you're supposed to play the minority attack. But, well, I think it is mentioned in Keen's book on the match.
Yeah, I remember I once played a5 in the Spanish league when we were teammates, and you were giving me a lecture that, no, you're supposed to go b5.
I did? Okay.
Yeah, you were probably right, but I was aware of the minority attack at that point.
I'm really sorry if that has, you felt bad about it, but I'm glad a chance occurred to come back at me. But, yeah, okay. I guess a6 is a threat, right? So
yeah.
Generally, you would expect that, as long as you defend b7, which is not that difficult, what are you going to do? Well, okay, the game tells us what you're going to do, right? So.
Yeah, basically without queens, black doesn't have much counterplay, typically in this structure. Black wants to play on the king side, which is not so easy here. He's also playing a bit passively, I don't know, bishop f8. But yeah, you have to sit and wait.
No, but also, we're talking about prime Karpov. I mean, it's not that.
Yeah, but 30-something games in,
Yeah.
Okay, you can't break on the queen side, obviously, so he's hinting at f3, e4, maybe.
No, I could see a certain young Norwegian player play like this.
Jon Ludvig.
Yes, exactly.
Now f4, which, once again, doesn't look like much of an achievement, but maybe f5.
But that is quite remarkable, right? Because you would really think you wanted to play e4. I mean, something like f5 now? Or what is it that his plan is, anyway? We'll see.
That's my problem with Korchnoi in general. Often when I see his games, he's obviously very strong, but non-standard things are happening, and often I don't quite grasp them.
No, but I think again it's because you are a very principled player where you want, clear plans, opening, something like that. I remember another game in this, I think he almost lost it, but he was clearly better. It was some kind of Nimzo position where Korchnoi has the pair of bishops and Karpov has the d5 square. And I think Korchnoi is just moving around for a really long time with not much happening and such. I mean, well, he was good at doing that, and somehow, that's not your patient style in a way, right? I mean, you want to have some kind of clarity. Korchnoi is more a fighter who, I will try and win at some point. We'll see how. And,
and also he was probably an incredibly good tactician, which is not always obvious in these games. But in order to play all these non-standard positions and be a fighter in long games, you have to be very alert tactically. So Karpov keeps moving around. It still doesn't look too bad for black to me.
No.
h6, I don't know. But, who am I to evaluate this? Now he tries, or he goes e4. Knight takes e4. Knight b5. There's some weaknesses. And he just wins his rook ending, basically.
Yeah.
I'm sure smarter people have analyzed the options here, but here black is clearly struggling.
It's just, let's leave it with a Larsen quote. The important thing is to have winning chances, right? So, No, I think this game is just a very strong practical thing, and while others we have chosen the gems of the career, this is as the most crucial moment, right? This is a sporting achievement that he actually managed to do this to Karpov when it really matters.
Yeah, in a way, I also think it's typical in that it's not typical. He doesn't play any standard plans, but he's still able to outplay greatest player of that time. And now all of a sudden, a6, king a5 appears on the agenda. Becomes a bit of a race.
No, it looks simple when you know it. I will still be a bit nervous at this point. But,
I'm sure Korchnoi was nervous.
Obviously, you're not running any risk of losing, right? So.
No, with that c-pawn you can't lose it. Still, we would start thinking about how to stop that pawn. So does he, actually.
Oh, I mean, you have played 6 hours and you have played 31 games.
That in tournaments at that time, probably this is the third session.
Also, we might not be referring them correct now. This is threatening mate in 1.
Yep, taking the pawn with check. Now I'd be happy. Now all of a sudden, white is just winning.
Yeah.
On body count. a3, the last hope, but he just picks it up.
And this one is not there is drawn positions, but this is not one of them. With an A pawn, it might be different, but now there's a C pawn. Oh, and Karpov resigned, and I think now, well, chaos reigned. I forgot if they started to take timeouts. There were certain rules about that and such. But I think what happened, well, remember many years later, there was a similar situation, maybe with Kasparov, where they simply called off the match. Well, Kasparov can probably talk about that for lengths. But, well, here what happened was that Korchnoi decided to gamble. Instead of playing normal chess, he played the Pirch and tried to be provocative. And, well, I guess they decided that, well, you had to hurt Karpov when he was shaken. But Karpov played a great attacking game and won the match, or Korchnoi will probably say that he didn't resign because he filed a protest. But okay, that was didn't lead anywhere and such. But I mean, well, till then it was an incredible. I mean, 5 wins each after 31 games against Karpov is extremely impressive at his age. And such. Well, it's pretty impressive in general. So that was tough for Korchnoi in many ways. And then, well, as we said, he actually came back to challenge once more, but, well, lost it clearly that time.
Yeah, and even after that, I think the next circle, whenever that is, he must have been quite old. He loses to Kasparov. And
yeah, that's true. Then he's probably 50 or 51, right? I mean, so, yeah, there is some famous game in the castle and such, right? So it's like... No, I mean, you start out, you're born in 31, but you actually end up playing both Karpov and Kasparov in this event. That's quite something. Also, we spoke of his longevity. It's true that maybe he wasn't as impressive in his 20s and 30s, but Zonas is doing this averages of rating. And if you look at the 20 years average, he's number 5. I mean, I think it's only Karpov, Kasparov, Lasker, and I forgot who else who is ahead of him. So, I mean, he is really up there for a really long time. And, well, with a lot of his stats like this longevity, he would normally end higher. But, well, he loses his all 3 World Championship matches, and somehow that means he ends up in spot number 20.
Yeah. And he won some stuff, which we haven't mentioned. He won the US Championship, I think, 4 times, which was serious at the time, of course.
US? Russia?
USSR, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm not sure if he won the Swiss Championship.
Yeah.
The Soviet Championship.
Sounds likely, but yeah.
So no, just a tremendous fighter who stuck around at the highest levels forever. Thanks for watching.